welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Yasmin. My channel centers around self-love, so a lot of my videos are focused on mindset and fitness practices that will help you build a sense of self-love. If this is something that interests you, definitely hit the subscribe button down below for more videos like this one. So the topic of my video today is going to be 11 things that I wish I had known before I started lifting weights. The number one thing that I wish I had known before I got into the gym is that lifting is not something that you can learn in a week or even a month. There is so much that goes into it, so much to learn, so much to get experience with and figure out. It is truly a very long process, and I think social media can kind of give off this idea that people start working out and then a month later, 2 months later, they have these amazing results and it's kind of a quick process. I don't think it really shows you how much goes into it, but it truly is a very long process, and it's not something that you can learn in a very short period of time, which is definitely what I believed to be the case before I started lifting weights. The second thing that I wish I had known before I started lifting is that form is much more important than lifting heavy. So my personal goals when I started, and still to this day, are to build muscle, and that is definitely possible, definitely something that is attainable, but it's not as important as having the right form, and I think I kind of overlooked that when I first started. So form is very important. It's incredibly important to be doing workouts in the proper way and with the right form. It prevents injuries, and it actually is what leads to you building muscle and putting on weight. Incorrect form is just not going to get you there. It's not effective to work out with incorrect form, and actually you risk injuring yourself and having to stay out of the gym for a while, which can completely throw off your progress towards achieving your fitness goals. The third thing that I wish I had known about lifting is that compound exercises are more important than everything else. So compound exercises for a leg day, for instance, would be squats, deadlifts, hip thrusts, anything where you are able to use a barbell and actually go pretty heavy over time. And they're just kind of the core foundational workouts that should be a staple in your workouts every week. So these are workouts that I have been doing for the full 5-6 years that I've been lifting weights, and I still do and plan to continue doing, because they are what really helped me with putting on this muscle and lifting heavier and heavier. I think, again, on social media, you see a lot of workouts that are things like cable exercises, dumbbell exercises, banded exercises, lightweight or body weight workouts. And I think when I first started, my workouts were almost entirely comprised of those types of exercises, which really wasn't conducive to my goals of building muscle and lifting heavier weights. The fourth thing that I wish I had known when I started is that going to the gym is uncomfortable when you're a beginner. It's something that takes getting used to, especially if you're someone like me who had never stepped foot in a gym before then, didn't really play sports. I was very unfamiliar with the whole fitness realm. When I stepped into the gym, I felt very out of place. I felt like I did not know what I was doing, and I felt like I was around a lot of people who did know what they were doing. And there were several experiences that played into that. I would have people come up to me and kind of give me tips on why my form was incorrect and what I could do to change it. I was a woman, a smaller woman in the gym. I felt like I was surrounded by these big, hunky men who were lifting heavy and kind of had a dominating presence in the gym. So yeah, there were a lot of things that played into me feeling out of place, and it's something that you kind of just have to accept when you're starting out. And I think being aware of that before going into it can really help you accept that and just have fun with it and be okay with the fact that it's a process. You're going to learn as you go. There are plenty of other people around you who are also learning as they go, and there's nothing wrong with being a little uncomfortable in the gym. The fifth thing that I wish I had known before I started lifting is that progress is not linear. So I feel like fitness is a lifelong practice. It's something that once you start, especially if you're into it, if you enjoy it, if you have goals, whatever, it's going to be a part of your life. It's going to be something that you need to consistently do and make time for. And life happens. It gets in the way sometimes. You get sick. You're really busy and just can't make time for the gym. You go on a trip. So there's going to be times in your life where you're super on top of going to the gym and you're doing it every day or whatever your goals are. You're crushing them. You're on it. And then times where you're not so on it, or you take a vacation and you just want to relax and chill. And so your progress is kind of going to be like a roller coaster. It's not going to be completely up, up, up forever, which is what I thought when I started going to the gym. And I was quite hard on myself because I thought that. So I think it's important to be aware that progress is not linear, and that's okay. It's okay to be making more progress at some points than you are at others. The sixth thing that I wish I had known before I started lifting weights is to not use fitness influencers as your top role models. I was inspired by fitness influencers to get into the gym and lift weights in the first place, so I'm very grateful for that. But I took it a little far and I compared myself very extremely to those influencers and tracked my results and wondered why I wasn't at the same place that they were after a couple months, and why I didn't have the results that they had and look the way that they did. And I think over time that was actually very detrimental to my overall experience with going to the gym. It didn't really help me much. So I think it's important to use fitness influencers as role models to a certain extent, and then to have some real life role models that you can maybe relate to a bit more. The seventh thing that I wish I had known before I started lifting is kind of related to the sixth, which is that comparisons won't get you very far. So if you're constantly comparing yourself and your fitness achievements to those of others, it can be kind of a negative thing. And even if you're comparing yourself to your own past achievements and the way you looked not very long ago, an experience from my life is that at one point, I don't know, 6 months ago, I was quite skinny. I was doing a lot of hardcore ab workouts. I was really on top of it, and I had built up these pretty defined abs, and I have pictures from that time period. And then several months passed. I was taking anxiety medication. I gained a decent amount of weight from that and lost my abs, and that became very apparent to me, especially when I went back and looked at my pictures I had taken when my abs were very defined and compared them to what I look like now, and I was kind of like, oh, that sucks. I don't have defined abs like that anymore. So it's crazy. You can even get caught up comparing yourself to yourself. I don't think that's healthy. Our bodies change. Change is a normal part of life. The eighth thing that I wish I had known before I started lifting weights is that unless you are willing to really dedicate a lot of time and commit yourself and make sacrifices and all of that in order to achieve this dream body and these dream fitness goals that you have, it's probably going to take a lot longer than you would expect to get there, to get to where you see yourself after you start your fitness journey. I know when I started, I was convinced that after a year or two, I would be where I wanted to be and I would have the dream body that I wanted and that I saw on social media, and that was not the case because life happened, things got in the way. Certain days I didn't want to go to the gym, I didn't feel like it. I wasn't in a mind state where I was going to push myself no matter what and go and get the workout done. And at times I still don't feel like that. It's a priority of mine. It's something that I definitely make time for, but it's not more important to me than anything else. If I feel like I need a rest day for the sake of my mental health, I take a rest day. Like, it's fine. And I have realized over time, through lifting for several years, that I've actually come to accept my body a lot more, and I've gotten less fixated on my dream body and where I want to be and what I want to achieve, which has been a beautiful thing. And I think that for some people, fitness is just, it's like that for them. They want to go hardcore with it. They want to do everything they can to achieve their goals, and that's enjoyable for them, and that's great. For other people, that's not the case, and it's going to be a part of their life, but it's not going to be their number one priority, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So that's been my experience, and I've come to enjoy my whole fitness journey a lot more through accepting where I'm at and not being so fixated on where I want to be. The 9th thing that I wish I had known before I started lifting weights is that, and this is kind of directed at my younger self, but also to anyone else who can relate to this, your hips are never going to look like the hips of the women that you see on Instagram. I went into lifting weights with this strong desire to build a different physique than the one that I have naturally, and I think a big part of that came from social media and what I was seeing. Well, I know that's where it came from. And these big hips are just a part of that ideal body type that women are more and more exposed to these days. And I don't think that that's a very possible thing to attain through working out in the gym. When it comes to growing a bigger booty, I think that's very possible, and once you kind of figure out which exercises contribute to that, it's definitely something that is doable and something that I have done and something that many women have done. But for hips, there's not a whole lot you can do there. You can do a bit, like there's some room for hip growth. But when it comes to the women that we see online, I really don't think that body type is attainable unless you are born with it or you get plastic surgery. So that's something I think younger me would have benefited from being aware of. The 10th thing that I wish I had known before I started lifting weights is that when it comes to achieving your fitness goals and attaining the body type that you would like, fitness is only half of it. So, of course, working out and lifting weights and doing all that will lead to you seeing improvement and seeing changes in your body, but nutrition and what you eat is a whole other side of it, a whole other vast universe that is also complicated, and there's a lot that goes into it, and that also plays a very big role in your achievement of fitness goals and changes in what your body looks like. So that's something that I have taken very seriously at times. I've gone through time periods where I was very serious and hardcore about my workouts and what I was eating. I was tracking calories, I was making sure I got enough protein, doing anything I could to get that food that I needed every single day. At times it would make me feel really gross and sick and just, it wasn't enjoyable, but I felt like I had to do it to achieve those fitness goals. And I have gotten to a place where I'm a lot more chill about it. I try to eat healthy. I make a point to do so. I try to work out often. I make a point to do that as well. But if there's a day where I just want to chill and watch a movie and eat some gluten-free cake because I have celiac disease, I do that. I honestly just discovered a gluten-free bakery by my gym, and that's tricky because I go to work out and then there's like this really amazing bakery 5 minutes away. So, but it's a balance. It's a balance, and I think that life, we're meant to enjoy it. We're meant to enjoy how we go about life, how we live it. So if it's not enjoyable for you to hardcore track what you eat and limit all the unhealthiness and go hardcore and work out every single day, no excuses, if that's not for you, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. This is a lifelong process. This isn't something that you want to get so tired of that you just give up on living a healthy lifestyle entirely. So I think that as long as you are doing your best, you're making an effort, you're going to the gym when you can, you are eating healthy for the most part, it's totally okay to slack off a bit here and there. And I just think it makes the whole fitness, healthy lifestyle process more enjoyable, more attainable, more long-lasting. And finally, the 11th thing that I wish I had known before I started lifting weights, and probably the most important thing, but I saved it for last, is that the whole process of getting in the gym, working out, making fitness a part of your life will be so much more enjoyable if you make an effort to love and accept yourself and your body exactly as it is before you ever even step foot in the gym. And I think this is so important because I, as well as many other people, went into the gym with a desire to get more fit, build a body that I would like more and accept more, and that through doing that, I would find this sense of self-love and acceptance and confidence that I felt as though I was lacking. And honestly, I feel like at times it did the opposite for me. It took away from my sense of self and confidence because I had caused it to be so attached to working out and getting results and getting a nicer body. And I hadn't really taken a step back and just tried to accept myself exactly the way I am. And I'm not saying do that and just don't ever go to the gym, don't work out, you're fine. Like, that's certainly an option, but I do think there are a ton of amazing things that can come out of working out in the gym. It's a great experience. It pushes you out of your comfort zone. It helps you build strength. It helps you learn something that's foreign to you and that you didn't even know you could do. And it does help you, get more fit and more confident if that's what you want. But I don't think your sense of self-worth and love and acceptance should be tied into that at all. I think that should be a separate thing because you are you. You are perfect just the way you are. You're beautiful. You are enough. You don't need to be some fit, better looking version of you to be more deserving of love from anyone or from yourself. You are so worthy just the way you are, and I think it's extremely important to be aware of that before you ever set foot in the gym. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope there was something you can learn and take from my own fitness experience. I hope this helps you in some way. Please like the video if it speaks to you and if you learned something from it, and comment down below if you have any feedback, any suggestions, anything you would like to see from me related to fitness, mindset, or both. I appreciate all of your feedback. It means a lot to me, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.